a lot of talk that they make some moves. Some quarterback might show up in Miami. We didn't get a chance to talk last week.
No, man,
Julian.
where's Watson gonna end up? Who knows, bro? With so much,
That dude's done.
so many QBs on the move.
We didn't get a chance to talk last week about the firing of Brian Flores, which was came as a huge shock. I think a huge shock to the NFL. I think in general, even like non-Dolphins.
I was surprised. I was shocked.
So what were your thoughts on Brian Flores leaving, Julian?
What are my thoughts? What are your thoughts?
What I thought.
I'm actually curious because let me lay this out for you because I don't know how much I'm assuming, Gabe, you know everything of the potential reasons of why he got the boot, but like because I know you're a Tua guy, but you're a Flores guy, and apparently what kind of led to his firing was that the GM and the front office were all for Tua. And reality, Flores was the one that wanted Watson all this time, but I know you're a Watson fan. So which kind of side are you on? Are you glad that they got rid of Flores to commit to Tua, or are you glad that Flores you want Tua gone and they should have kept Flores?
Don't you put that Watson on me, Ricky Bobby. A complete shock to me. This was nothing that I saw going forward. Obviously, the Dolphins started at the beginning of the season. They went 0-7, and then they went on a 7-0 run. Some crazy like that. Went 7-1, or
they're like
whatever.
7. They were like 1-7, and then
complete shot because I think most of the general consensus among Dolphins fans is Brian Flores wasn't the problem. He wasn't the reason why they were losing. In fact, he was probably the reason why they won so many damn games. Because if anything, especially last season, the defense kept the Dolphins in a lot of games, and the reason why we had a 11 win game last year and why we were pretty good this year is because of the defense. And he's a defensive guy, obviously from New England. So complete shock when he got fired. And then obviously there's a campaign. You get bad press, and they're coming as, oh, he doesn't talk to people, or oh, he's not very nice, or oh, he never sent me flowers on Valentine's Day, or so whatever the fuck they want to say. That's all good and well, but the man won. Now, I'm not saying that those things could be lies. They could be absolutely true. But when we look at this team, Flores, on the list of things, the problems with the Dolphins, Flores was not in the top 5. So complete shock. Then you hear rumors come around that Stephen Ross is a huge Michigan guy. I think he's a Michigan alum. And that he donates a lot of money to the school of Michigan, and who's in Michigan right now is freaking the other Harbaugh, not the
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. Complete shock. I think Flores will find a job. He's not going to be jobless. He will find a job somewhere. I think he's a good head coach. The fact that the Deshaun Watson stuff came out, that he pushed it, that I do not like, because I think that would have been terrible. And the fact that, because a lot of people were saying that Stephen Ross was becoming impatient and wanted to push for Deshaun Watson, and around that deadline, I think there were phone calls made to see what was going on with that situation. So a lot of that got put on Stephen Ross, but if the rumors are true, or what they're saying is true, that Flores was pushing for it, that shit I don't like, because I think that's an absolute wrong decision to make. So the fact that he didn't get along with his GM, Stephen Ross, and he got fired, maybe the rumors are true, but like I said, I still think he's a good coach. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do to replace him. So
I think the rumors are true, because I think Chris Greer and I think they wanted. Obviously, they drafted Tua. Tua was their pick. They always wanted him, and I think it was evident just from seeing like him getting, especially his rookie season. I don't think Brian Flores ever liked Tua, and now there's stuff coming out that Tua and Brian Flores got in fights. They didn't like each other, and that's why I thought this whole situation was curious, because obviously being around so many Dolphins fans, so many people love Tua and they love Brian Flores, and I'm just curious to see what side they would take, because like obviously you're in the Tua boat. In a sense, you're kind of happy that the front office like is taking his side more so than Flores is. Granted, I agree with you. I think if it comes out, if it is true, it'll never come out. But if it is true that Brian Flores wanted Deshaun Watson, I mean, why would you put your organization in that position, like to even deal with that? Like, I don't understand why anybody would ever trade for Deshaun Watson. I think you have to be really fucking desperate because everything that's coming out doesn't look like he's going to be around very long. So, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I was gonna say, to Deshaun Watson before all that shit came out, I would have been like, okay, he's a good quarterback, whatever. But then after all this shit comes out, there's absolutely not the decision you need to make on Deshaun Watson. So it's not to disparage like his football play. It's just, do you want that around your team? Do you want to deal with that every day? Do I have to? Because if they did that, I would absolutely stop watching the Dolphins. Like I would be a Jacksonville Jaguars fan.
Because I was like, so Gay, are you glad though that it seems that they're committing to Tua? Like, are you sold that Tua is the right answer? Like,
yeah, I mean, you have to. They have to, because guess what? You had a higher pick. Y'all traded down. Y'all were at number 6, and they traded down to 12. They traded away to San Francisco. If they wanted somebody else, they could have easily got another quarterback. They could have easily got somebody. They could have easily got
in that year
if they wanted. So if they had their sights on Tua this whole time, you got to stick with your decision. That's the decision you made. Now give him all the support and all the help he needs. You know what I mean? This O-line is terrible. This is one of the worst O-lines the fucking Dolphins ever had. Absolute horseshit, porous. It's like a fucking a sponge. Just anything can go through that shit. So, speaking to the problems that the Dolphins have, that's what they need to concentrate on, is giving him support. I think getting rid of Flores. I don't know who they're going to replace now. They're talking about
I think they're going to get an offensive guy.
They're going to the Cardinals. They're talking about the offensive coordinator for the 49ers, Mike. I forget the guy's name. Mike. He's pretty funny, young guy. So I don't know who they're going to get to replace Flores, but I mean,
I wouldn't be. I think getting the dude from the 49ers isn't a bad pickup. Seeing the system that Garoppolo is thriving in, because as you know, I don't really think much of Tua. I don't think he'll ever be a gunslinger. He's never going to fly. And I think that West Coast system and that Shanahan system that they run in San Francisco could fit him very well. Obviously, Dolphins still need a lot of pieces around him. You have a good guy in Waddle, but you pretty much have nobody else outside of him.
Yeah. Gesicki. It's good.
Gesicki, yeah. But everybody else on that team's in the playmaking position.
No running back, no O-line.
Yeah, they're all fucking bums. But I think it's if you're a guy, you're happy. If I was a Dolphins fan, I think I would rather side with Flores than Tua, because I think Flores is a better coach than Tua is a quarterback. But I mean, only time will tell. We'll see if maybe they get the right guy in here that can develop him and help him.
Oh man, they want short-term success, or they're looking in the long term? Because again, you start off 1-7. The big part of that was Tua being injured again, so he missed a couple games. You lost games you shouldn't have, and for you to go on a 7-game win streak to potentially put your team back in the playoffs, that starts with the coach, man, and their belief in the system and his play calling and everything else that goes around it. To win 7 games in a row and you're already in the rut, 1-7, you have nothing to play for at that point. The team, gives up hope, So I just think it's insane. Like, he still put them in a position to potentially make the playoffs and move on. And granted, obviously they didn't, but still, I mean, you pretty much had the same season as last season. They were 1 win away last season from the playoffs, 1 or 2 wins away season the playoffs, and your quarterback was injured. So those early games you lost because he was out could have really made a difference.
And to be fair, Tua played pretty well towards the end of the season. He played pretty well. And he is a guy, I think you need a lot of talent around him for him to play well. So, yeah, if that's the direction they're going to go, then they need to really bolster. I don't know what their salary cap and everything's looking like. Obviously, you have a lot of draft capital, but they need playmakers. They need people on offense for sure, like big time.